Stoicism and Modern Life, an Introduction. In a culture that continually tells us how to feel, Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Imagine being able to achieve inner serenity and contentment, regardless of your circumstances. That's strong. It's revolutionary. It's about gaining control not of the globe, but of something far more significant and within our reach, our thoughts. Stoicism is about resilience, thankfulness, and living a full life. The focus is on your life now, not history. It's about being calm in this chaotic environment. It's about finding serenity amid the storm and pleasure in the simplest of things. It's about converting your mornings from something you hate into a strong launchpad for a day filled with purpose and pleasure. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by life's cacophony, if you've ever tried to achieve serenity, or are intrigued about ancient knowledge, this video may be the one that transforms your life in the 21st century. Anything for you? Let's get into the Stoic tactics that may assist us. Construct not only a morning ritual, but a life filled with purpose, resilience, and real happiness. I implore you to devote your whole attention to this film from start to end. If you've made it here, you're not like everyone else. You're a standout, someone who seeks depth and insight. Your effort to learning this knowledge in full sets you apart even more. This may seem like a sophisticated phrase, but it's really a delightfully basic notion that hails from Japan. Find your Ikigai, discovering purpose in every morning. It's about locating that sweet spot between your hobbies, talents, social needs, and what you may be rewarded for all intersect. It's your unique purpose for being Iigi, waking up each morning inspired by a clear mission that thrills you. Something that makes the notion of pressing sleep simply irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about weathering life's challenges with a stiff upper lip. He was profoundly involved in the belief that we're all here to perform our role, to offer something important. He challenged us to treat each day as a chance to do our position with honesty and enthusiasm. Now think about that in the perspective of Ikigai. It's not just about discovering what you love, it's about connecting it with what the world needs and what you're excellent at. That's where the magic comes. So how do you start unearthing your Ikigai? It starts with some reflection. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I excellent at? What does the world require from me? What can I be compensated for? It's all right if the answers don't come to you immediately away. This is about the trip, examining various parts of your life and hobbies and discovering where they connect. Your search for your Ikigai isn't simply some fluffy, feel-good workout. It's about creating the basis for a life that's full with purpose and happiness. When you integrate your regular acts with your higher purpose, even the basic routines acquire importance. Your relationships start to bloom because you're more present and involved. Your creativity soars since you're linked with your genuine hobbies and general satisfaction. Well, it becomes more of a daily friend than a transient guest. Thus, when you think about setting your alarm for tomorrow morning, contemplate what Ikigai means for you. What could be so intriguing that you'd bounce out of bed excited to start the day? Remember, this isn't about overnight transformation. It's a process, a delicate unfolding, and as Marcus Aurelius would tell us, it's about completing the task day by day with passion and dignity. Discovering your Ikigai isn't only about personal satisfaction, it's about accepting your place in the bigger fabric of life, giving your unique thread to the constantly expanding human tale. The ancient Stoics, notably Marcus Aurelius, were strong on the concept that our deeds should be purposeful, not simply random deeds flung into the wind, but intentional movements directed by our inner compass too. Prepare the night before, setting the stage for success. This attitude flows well into how we prepare for the day ahead, beginning the night before. Here's the deal: the quality of your morning starts. Regarding how you spend your evening, It's tempting to binge-watch your favorite series till the early hours, or surf around social media until your eyes fog. But let's stop and evaluate how it sets you up for the following day. Your brain needs time to relax, to comprehend the day's events, and to rejuvenate for what's ahead. That's when a great before-sleep routine comes into play. Picture treating your nightly routine with the same attention and intention as you would any other significant area of your life. This isn't about severe self-discipline that drains the fun out of your nights. It's about establishing an environment that supports your well-being and corresponds with your objectives for the next day. For instance, reducing screen time. An hour before bed isn't about denying yourself relaxation. It's about providing your mind the indication that it's time to wind down, making it simpler to fall asleep and wake up feeling rejuvenated. Preparing a little for the following day may also be a game changer. It might be as easy as scribbling down your top 3 objectives for tomorrow. This step alone creates a clear path, assuring you wake up with a feeling of purpose. And here's where the Stoic mentality truly shines. It's about realizing what's under our control and letting go of what's not. We may not be able to manage every minute of our day, but we can absolutely affect how we start it. And let's not forget about some deep breathing or meditation to relax the mind. This practice isn't simply fluff. It's a strong tool that indicates to your body it's time to rest. Breathing deeply and exhaling gently helps lessen stress, lower your heart rate, and prepare your body for a long, restorative slumber. It's like clicking the reset button, guaranteeing you wake up not only physically refreshed, but psychologically and emotionally as well. In today's constantly on world, this can seem like a Herculean undertaking, yet it's very necessary for establishing the tone of your whole day image. The initial seconds of your morning unspoiled by the digital cacophony of emails, social media messages. With the bustling news cycle, it's just you, your thoughts, and the calm silence of the morning. That's not just refreshing, it's inspiring. Marcus Aurelius was a strong advocate for living with concentration and attention. He wasn't sidetracked by the announcements of ancient Rome 3. Avoid morning distractions, embracing serenity, and trust me. He had his share of diversions instead. He emphasized the necessity of focusing on the current moment and the work at hand. He realized something that's much more significant. Now, the quality of your attention influences the quality of your life. Thus, how can we use this old knowledge in the present world foremost? It's about establishing a morning place that's purposely free from technology distractions. This isn't about avoiding technology, but rather opting not to let it define the start of your day. It's tempting to roll over and quickly check your phone, but it instantly puts you in a reactive state, reacting to the demands and dramas of the external world. Instead, offer yourself the gift of a serene start. Consider dedicating the first hour of your day to things that feed your soul and strengthen your thoughts. Maybe it's reading, meditating, journaling, or just enjoying a cup of coffee while you glance out the window. This isn't lost time. It's an investment in your well-being. By avoiding distractions, you're not simply avoiding stress. You're deliberately generating a reservoir of tranquility and concentration that you'll draw from throughout the day. Making the most of your mornings isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about eliminating the noise that doesn't benefit you. It's about focusing what genuinely matters before the day's demand begins tugging at your attention. This is where the Stoic habit of concentrating on what's under your control comes into action. You may not be able to manage the flow of emails waiting for you, but you can decide how and when you choose to connect with them. So tomorrow, push yourself to start the day on your terms. Avoid the impulse to delve into the digital world. First thing instead, center yourself in the current moment, relishing the calm and possibilities. Whatever the morning holds, remember, every day is a fresh chance to live more consciously, more serenely, and more in accordance with who you wish to be. Let's make our mornings a tribute to that aim, inspired by the ageless wisdom of Stoicism and the relentless focus on what actually matters. Stoicism at its foundation is about realizing what is under our power and behaving with virtue and purpose in those areas. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These folks weren't simply talking about bearing life's trials with a stiff upper lip. They were calling for a proactive wake up consistently, the power of routine. Involvement with life, taking command of our actions and our mentality, waking up regularly as a behavior that represents this idea. It's a proclamation that we are in charge of, way we start our day, that we are not at the mercy of whims or external influences, constructing a life as Stoicism proposes, step by step with happiness. In each activity is a profound notion, because reminds us that large changes start with modest, consistent behaviors, getting up at the same time. Each morning could seem like a simple thing, yet it's a cornerstone habit that sets the scene for everything else. It's about having a steady foundation for your day, where you're not running from the minute you open your eyes, but rather beginning with a feeling of control and purpose. But here's the issue. Consistency is tough. It's intended to be the early days of attempting to get up at the same time. Each morning might seem like an uphill fight. Your bed seems more cozy than ever, and the urge to press snooze just one more time might seem seductive. This is where the Stoic habit of persistence comes in. It's about reminding yourself why you're doing this, about the person you're becoming via this discipline. It's about looking past the immediate comfort and concentrating on the long-term rewards this practice will bring into your life. Being a morning person, therefore, is not simply about the mornings itself. It's about embracing the attributes that make you resilient, focused, and deliberate throughout your day. It's an exercise in self-mastery, in matching your actions with your ideals, and in building the sort of life you wish to live one morning at a time. So how can we make consistency our ally? Start by having a clear objective. The night before, remind yourself why getting up at a given time is essential to you. Is it to have more peaceful time in the morning for reading or meditation? Is it to exercise or just to start your day in a more calm and regulated way? Then build an atmosphere that encourages this behavior. Maybe it's going to bed a little early to ensure you get adequate sleep, or leaving your curtains slightly open should allow the natural light wake you up softly, and when it becomes rough, recall the Stoic conviction in the power of our own will and the necessity of behaving according to our values each morning. When you get up at your chosen time, you're not simply beginning your day, you're reiterating a commitment to yourself, to your progress, and to living a life with meaning and purpose. 5. Take it easy. Embracing self-compassion amongst all this talk about discipline, consistency, and rising up with the sun. It's paramount to remember one thing. We're human, and being human implies we're lovely, sophisticated beings with minds that typically seek the route of least resistance, the immediate satisfaction path. This is exactly why taking on new habits, while altering our mornings, might first seem like an uphill fight. However, there's something immensely liberating about realizing this truth. It's not a defect. It's simply part of the human experience. So let's channel some Stoicism into this thought. Stoicism teaches us the significance of self-compassion and sympathy with its requirements for discipline and perseverance. Marcus Aurelius, in his own writings, regularly admonished himself to be patient. Being compassionate with his own inadequacies, he recognized that berating oneself for every slip-up was not the way to progress. Instead, he pushed for acknowledging our faults, learning from them, and then letting them go. This method is vital when we're attempting to build new morning routines, or any habit. For that matter, your first several days or even weeks might be rough. Your alarm goes off, and every fiber of your being wants to remain cocooned in the comfort of your bed. And let's be honest, there will be days when you'll give in to that want. That's all right. The issue is what you do next. Do you beat yourself up, falling into a circle of guilt and self-condemnation, or do you take a breath, forgive yourself, and view the following morning as a new chance to try again? Forbearance and tolerance with ourselves are not marks of weakness. They're markers of strength and knowledge. They signify we're in it for the long haul, ready to manage the ups and downs with grace. This Stoic discipline of self-compassion is about realizing our nature, working with it, and gradually moving ourselves towards the habits and life we wish to. Furthermore, taking it easy isn't about making excuses or enabling ourselves to continuously fall short of our objectives. It's about knowing that progress is a process loaded with learning curves and failures. It's about knowing that every day comes with it a fresh set of problems and possibilities. And it's in this daily renewal that we discover our power and resilience. So as you concentrate on appreciating those early mornings, with any new habit, remember to take it easy on yourself, enjoy the tiny triumphs, learn from the failures, and approach each day with a heart eager to try again. 6. Small acts of discipline, building a virtuous life. This isn't just about being a morning person. It's about creating a mentality that's prepared to meet life's obstacles with a combination of resolve and compassion. Examine the simple step of setting your alarm clock across the room. It's not simply about making it physically tougher to snooze. It's a statement. It's a pledge to start the day on your terms, must rise despite the warmth of the beds. Embrace. It's a modest act of protection against the inanity of sleep and comfort, a step towards embracing the day with purpose. Similarly, making your bed each morning could seem like a small duty, particularly when you're the only one who'll see it. But it's so much more than smoothing sheets and fluffing pillows. It's an exercise in caring, in reminding yourself that your surroundings and how you connect with it matters. It's about establishing an environment that mirrors the order and respect and nurturing inside yourself. These tiny triumphs, as Marcus Aurelius would certainly say, are the building blocks of a disciplined existence. They're the daily actions that, although easy to miss, collectively form our character. Each time you choose to perform these simple things, you're casting a vote for the sort of person you want to be. You're choosing to be someone who values discipline, order, and respect for oneself and one's surroundings. So why concentrate on these tiny gestures when they're within everyone's grasp? Not all of us can control the main events in our life, the upheavals, the unexpected twists, yet we can influence how we behave to the start of each day, how we approach our immediate surroundings, and how we condition ourselves for whatever is ahead. This is Stoicism in action, concentrating on what's in our power to control and letting go of what isn't. Additionally, these routines aren't simply about creating discipline for discipline's sake. They're about fostering a mentality that's prepared for life's biggest problems. If you can commit to these modest acts of discipline, you're preparing yourself to maintain your promises in more crucial places. You're refining your capacity to follow through, to stay steadfast in the face of adversity, and to approach life with a calm, collected manner, traits that constitute the Stoic ideal. Therefore, when you explore the significance of discipline in your life, start small. Seek for those daily occasions to learn self-control and organization. Recall, it's in these situations, in the silence of the morning, when you decide to wake and face the day with purpose, that your character is formed. 7. Accountability, partners, sharing the journey. These activities are not simply jobs or tasks, they're rituals imbuing your day with significance. Fill your life with a feeling of purpose and significance. The concept here is simple, but tremendously effective. Discussing your objectives with someone who not only supports you, but also keeps you responsible, may dramatically boost your chances of success. It converts a personal trip into a communal one, making the way to achieving your daily routine and eventually your life's purpose less intimidating and more pleasant. Think of your accountability partner as your ally in the goal of self-development. This individual is there to remind you of your responsibilities when the coziness of your bed seems too comfortable to depart in the early hours. They're there to encourage you when development appears sluggish and to applaud your successes, no matter how tiny this relationship is. A two-way street. It's about mutual support and encouragement, anchored on the knowledge that we're all aiming to be the finest versions of ourselves. The Stoics included Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, regularly highlight the significance of community. Regarding connections in the formation of character and virtue, they believed in the potential of knowledge shared in learning from one another, and in the power that comes from knowing you're not alone in your problems. Finding an accountability partner in today's environment is a reference to this timeless wisdom, realizing that although the route towards self-discipline and purpose is personal, it need to be lonesome. Additionally, an accountability companion might aid you. See blind places in your habit or approach that you would overlook on your own. They might give fresh views and ideas that may stimulate your development in unforeseen ways. This collaboration is about more than simply checking in to see whether you got up on time or followed through on your morning meditation. It's about participating in meaningful communication about what's working, what isn't, and how you can both support one another in making improvements. So how do you locate this accountability partner? Seek for someone who shares your passion to development and self-improvement. This might be a buddy, a family member, or even a co-worker. The idea is to find someone you trust, someone with whom you can be open and honest about your aspirations, challenges, and accomplishments. After you discovered that individual, be clear about what you're wanting to achieve and what sort of assistance you need. Arrange frequent check-ins and be available for each other, giving encouragement, counsel, and when required, a light shove back on track 8. Memento Mori. Remembering the value of every day. Remember, finding an accountability partner is about more than just external drive. It's about developing a friendship that inspires and uplifts both of you. It's about building a shared place where honesty, vulnerability, and mutual support are respected and nourished. In this location, your morning habits and wider life objectives get connected in a joint endeavor towards living a more deliberate, disciplined, and fruitful life. The Stoic habit of pondering on mortality is a call to action, a spur to spend our lives with purpose and aim. It inspires us not to wasting our time on trivialities, but to focus on leaving a significant legacy every morning. As we wake up, we're faced with a new chance to connect with life in a meaningful manner, to contribute effectively to the world around us, and to achieve personal development and satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, frequently talked on the ephemeral essence of existence, highlighting the value of living virtuously and making the most of the time we have. This wasn't supposed to be dismal. Rather, it was a freeing revelation that released him from trivial cares and led him to concentrate on his obligations as emperor and as a human being striving for virtue. The concept is that by having the aim in mind, we're more likely to conduct our lives with purpose and clarity, emphasizing the things and connections that genuinely matter. Recognizing death in the backdrop of our daily routines alters how we approach each day. It's not simply another day, it's a day that we've been granted, one that's not promised to everyone. This insight may drastically alter how we choose to spend our time, the activities we participate in, the connections we foster, and the legacy we seek to establish. It's a reminder to live completely, to love truly, and to leave the world a bit better than we found it. Additionally, this Stoic technique helps us keep perspective in the face of life's unavoidable obstacles and setbacks. When we recall that our time is limited, the everyday annoyances and hurdles lose much of their influence over us. We become more resilient, more focused on our long-term objectives, and less prone to be hindered by brief problems. It's a technique that builds thankfulness for the current moment and motivates us to make the most of it. Thus, how can we adopt this Stoic idea into our everyday life? It starts with a moment of thought. 9. Practice. Negative visualization. Preparing for challenges. Each morning, regard the day ahead as a blank canvas, a chance to contribute positively to your life narrative and to others around you. Ask yourself, if this were my final day, would I be proud with how I'm choosing to spend it? This doesn't imply living in a continual state of existential crises, but rather nurturing a genuine appreciation for the moment, for the chance to live, learn and love, in adopting the Stoic discipline of acknowledging death. We're not dwelling on the end, focusing on the present and how we choose to live each day. It's a potent antidote to complacency and a reminder to live our life with aim, purpose and appreciation. So let's welcome each morning with the realization that it is a gift, a chance to construct a life that's rich in purpose and linked with our innermost ideals. This is the core of living stoically, of making the most of our brief time in this world to build a legacy that endures. We're frequently encouraged to concentrate on the positive, to imagine success and happiness in order to draw them into our life. Nevertheless, the Stoics, in their great knowledge, give a distinct viewpoint that's not just practical but highly uplifting. Negative visualization isn't about pessimism, rather, it's a tool for resilience, preparation, and eventually greater tyranny of the present. The objective of this exercise is to frequently consider the problems or difficulties you could experience in life. This might vary from little inconveniences like a missing transport or a wet day to more major tragedies such as the loss of a job or a loved one. The idea isn't to focus on these possibilities in a manner that fosters dread or anxiety, but to mentally rehearse how you would react with such scenarios should they come. This act of imagination prepares you emotionally and cognitively, making you less vulnerable to being hurled off course by life's inevitable ups and downs. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. They all agree that by considering the transient nature of everything beyond our control, we might create a better feeling of tranquility and resilience. This technique enables us to concentrate on what we can control: our reactions, our moods, and our behaviors. Adding negative imagery into your morning ritual may impact how you approach your day. Instead of going out the door, oblivious to the possible obstacles ahead, you're psychologically ready to confront them. 10. End with gratitude, reflecting on the day's gifts. It's like a mental training session where you develop your resilience muscles, so when life eventually throws a curveball your way, you're not thrown off your feet. You've previously rehearsed this moment in your head. You may rely from your pre-visualized ways to get through it. Plus, this technique has a lovely, rather surprising impact. It improves our thankfulness for the current moment by envisioning life without some of the things we take for granted. We come back to reality with a refreshed gratitude for them. It's a reminder of how much we have to be grateful for right now in this instant. This isn't about living in dread of loss, but rather utilizing the concept of it to increase our appreciation for the here and now. So how can we practice negative visualization in a healthy, helpful manner? Start with a few minutes in the morning to analyze probable obstacles of the day or bigger future possibilities. Envision how you would ideally react, what strengths you would call upon, what lessons you may gain, and how you could develop from the experience. Then let go of the vision. Then go with your day, taking with you a feeling of preparation and an elevated appreciation. Suit your present situation, infusing appreciation into our life. particularly when we close our day, may have a profound influence on our well-being and attitude. Maintaining a thankfulness book is a very easy but incredibly powerful technique to create this feeling of gratitude. It's about taking a few minutes before we sleep to think on the day and write down a few things we're thankful for. This might be anything from a nice gesture from a stranger, a gorgeous sunset, the accomplishment of a tough assignment, perhaps just the warmth of our bed, ready to greet us at the conclusion of a hard day. The act of writing down what we're thankful for turns our emphasis from what's missing in our life to the wealth that's already available. It's a discipline that resonates nicely with Stoic principles, which emphasize concentrating on what we have rather than what we don't, on what's within our power rather than what isn't. This adjustment in perspective not only sets the atmosphere for a tranquil night's sleep, free from the turbulence of unmet goals or persistent disappointments, but it also primes our thoughts to begin the following day with a feeling of purpose and appreciation. So why conclude the day with appreciation? Because it helps us to complete our day on a note of optimism, regardless of the problems we may have endured. It's a means of confirming the positive in our life, of finding serenity even amid upheaval, and of developing a mentality that recognizes opportunity for development and pleasure in every scenario. This nightly practice of thankfulness generates a ripple effect, impacting not only how we sleep, but how we get up and approach our mornings. It turns our first thoughts of the day from moans over the alarm clock to a peaceful anticipation of what the new day brings, what fresh things we can uncover to be glad for. Additionally, this practice of enjoying our existence goes beyond our own world. It boosts our ties when we grow more alert to the worth of individuals around us and more vocal of our appreciation for their existence in our life. It increases our connectedness to the globe. When we grow more conscious of and appreciative for the beauty and wonder that surround us frequently in the most commonplace times. Thus, when we examine the plethora of techniques to improve our mornings and by extension our lives, let's not ignore the impact of concluding our day with thankfulness. It's a practice that exemplifies the Stoic pursuit of a decent life. One distinguished not by exterior successes or material things, but by inner serenity, satisfaction, and a deep-rooted appreciation for the present moment. As we conclude out our trip through the 10 tactics inspired by Stoicism, it's evident that each step and practice is more than simply a chore. It's a method to developing a life of intention, resilience, and genuine appreciation. Adopting these habits doesn't imply every day will be great, but it does mean that every day will be faced with a stronger, more appreciative, and more resilient. You have within you the potential to improve not only your mornings, but your whole existence, becoming a representation of the Stoic principles of virtue, wisdom, and serenity. Remember, this is only the beginning. There's an entire universe of Stoic knowledge waiting to be discovered, eager to lead you on your way to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. If you found this adventure enlightening and are interested to explore more into the Stoic style of life, I advise you to check out our playlist right here on the screen. It's filled with insights, anecdotes, and practical ideas to help you enjoy the full complexity of Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff. Please leave your comments and share your experiences. Let's go on this road of development, resilience, and satisfaction together. Here's to mornings filled with purpose, days spent with meaning, and a life bursting with appreciation. Thank you for becoming part of Stoic Journal community. See you soon.